Hey guys, and welcome back to Top Share Sports. It's Friday, so it is time for our weekly roundup, and today we are going to start in the NHL. Not a whole lot to talk about in the NHL. Obviously, the trade deadline happened this past week. However, a lot of teams seem to have benefited from the trade deadline. It seems to have worked out favorably for most. 5 newbies have quickly recorded a point, or at least a point, for their new teams. So I think a lot of teams have something to be excited about. Obviously, every year with every sport, the deadline comes and goes, and you're left wondering what should have happened, what could have happened, but so far, so good for most of these teams. Over on the Pigskin side of things in the NFL, not a whole lot to talk about here either, so I'm going to take this chance to plug my fave team, the Indianapolis Colts. The Indianapolis Colts are a surprise, kind of, QB market contender. Is there a need for an upgrade here over Brissett? Sure. But I'm kind of curious as to what the plan is. They've talked to Philip Rivers' agents. They've also apparently discussed the opportunity or the chances of a Derek Carr trade, and then obviously there is the draft. Now, I'm not a huge fan about the Derek Carr option. Philip Rivers is interesting if they pair that with the draft pick, but overall, if they're planning to draft a QB, I almost think that just rolling with Brissett for another year wouldn't be that bad of an option. Obviously, time will tell, but that is a personal Colts fan. That's their hope and dream when it comes to the QB market. We shall see what happens. Over in the NBA, fans received some good news as Steph Curry announced that he should be back as soon as this Sunday. Whether you're a fan or not of the Warriors, seeing NBA season without Steph Curry and without his splash bro Klay Thompson to boot has been weird to say the least. The Warriors have had a terrible season, which I think most fans are excited about. So Steph coming back shouldn't change that, so we get to see one of the best shooters of all time back in action, and I think most people are going to be excited about that. Ben Simmons and Joel Embiid both suffered injuries this week, which is bad news for the Sixers because they can't win a game on the road. The good news is Joel Embiid should only be out for roughly a week. The bad news is Ben Simmons' injury seems to be a bit more serious. Now, he is going to be reevaluated in 2 weeks. Could get really good news there, but he could miss significant time with this back injury. Last but not least, Malik Monk received an indefinite suspension for violating the league's anti-drug policy. Not much is known yet, but it appears this is a drug abuse rather than performance enhancers. So Monk will most likely have to enter a program before being able to re-enter the league. Over in the MLB Spring Training, and the Astros have had a rough time, showered in booze everywhere they go, and rightfully so. However, it's caused me to question why the Red Sox aren't getting really any hate themselves. Alex Cora was a part of both teams' cheating scandals, and he benefited greatly by winning a World Series both times. There's no doubt that the Astros are currently MLB's most hated team. I'm wondering if things will change a bit once more information about the Red Sox comes out later this month. We shall see. Luis Severino, Yankees pitcher, is slated for Tommy John surgery, which means the Yankees are going to be without him for the entire season. Now, the Yankees rotation had a lot of question marks in it. They signed Garrett Cole, and that definitely was a huge strength. This is a huge weakness, losing Severino. We shall see what they're going to do. Probably looking at some internal options. They could turn to the trade market, obviously, but the rotation had question marks even with Garrett Cole. Losing Severino certainly doesn't help that. We also got news that Yankees slugger Giancarlo Stanton and Red Sox ace Chris Sale are looking like they'll both start the season on the injured list. Stanton has been plagued with injuries for the past forever, and Chris Sale had a rough start to last season. We all remember that. So a late start this year probably won't do the the lefty any favors. So bad news there. Two stars of the game. I guess you can call Stanton a star. I mean, he has like 50 home run potential. He's a name. He's known. People know him. He used to be called Mike. Last but not least, certainly not least, this is probably the biggest news of the week. Tim Tebow hit his first spring training home run. We'll see you guys next week. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.